Hello, dear friends, and welcome again to our one-of-usable episode of Think in English Daily Conversation with Perfect English Podcast. I am Sarah, and I am happy to having you here again with me today. This podcast is your space, your daily practice room, where you can listen, repeat, and train your mind to think in English. Many learners believe that English is only about grammar rules or long vocabulary lists, but the truth is much simpler. The secret to fluency is learning to think directly in English without translating every word in your head. That is exactly what we are going to practice together. You see, when you translate from your native language, your brain becomes slow. You think in one language, then you change it into English, and by the time you are ready to speak, the conversation has already moved on. This can make you feel nervous, shy, or even afraid of speaking. But when you think in English, everything changes. Your sentences come out naturally, your ideas flow more easily, and your confidence grows with every word. That is why this daily habit of thinking in English is so important. It is the bridge between studying the language and actually living the language. In this podcast, we will take small, clear steps together. I will share sentences that are simple but powerful, phrases that you can use every single day, and little exercises that you can practice in your own life. Every time you repeat, you are building stronger connections in your brain. Every time you imagine a situation in English, you are preparing yourself for real conversations. And every time you practice, you are one step closer to fluency. So remember, my friends, you do not need perfect grammar to speak English well. You need practice, patience, and a positive attitude. With these three things, your English will grow naturally and beautifully, just like a plant grows with water, sunlight, and care. Stay with me, repeat with me, and together we will make English a natural part of your daily thinking. Now move into our warm-up practice. Just like athletes warm up their bodies before they play a game, English learners also need to warm up their minds and voices before real conversation. This part of the practice is simple but very powerful. We will use short, beautiful sentences that you can repeat after me. These sentences are not only easy to say but also full of meaning and motivation. They are designed to help you think positively and to make English feel natural in your daily life. I will say each sentence slowly and clearly. After I say it, I will pause for a few seconds so you can repeat it out loud. If you are alone, say it loudly and confidently. If you are in a public place and cannot speak, just repeat it in your mind. Both ways will train your brain to think in English, but speaking aloud is always stronger because it connects your thoughts with your voice. Remember, every time you open your mouth to speak English, you are training your muscles, your memory, and your confidence. Let's begin with our first sentence. I am ready to practice English today. This is a powerful sentence because it tells your mind that you are prepared. You are making a promise to yourself that today is a day for learning and growth. Repeat it after me and feel the energy in those words. Next is, I think in English and I speak with confidence. This is more than just a practice sentence. It is a mindset. When you tell yourself that you think in English, you are training your brain to stop translating. When you say you speak with confidence, you are reminding yourself that your voice matters and that you are capable of clear communication. Our third sentence is, every day I get better and better. This is about progress. Many learners feel discouraged because they want to be perfect immediately. But real progress comes step by step. By saying this sentence, you remind yourself that improvement is happening daily, even if you don't always notice it. Now let's try, small steps make big progress. This is one of my favorite sentences because it is true for every learner. You don't need to study for 10 hours in one day. You just need a few minutes of consistent practice every day. Small actions, repeated daily, create big results. Finally, let's say, English is part of my daily life. This sentence helps you accept English not only as a subject you study, but as something you live with every day. English becomes part of your thoughts, your routines, and your experiences. These warm-up sentences may look simple, but they carry great power. They prepare your mind, they build your confidence, and they remind you that learning English is not just about rules. It is about practice, repetition, and positive energy. By saying these sentences each day, you are creating a habit that makes English feel natural and automatic. Let's move on to daily conversation practice. This is one of the most important parts of our journey together because this is where you learn how to use English in real situations. Conversation practice is not just about memorizing sentences. It is about imagining yourself in a situation, hearing the words in your mind, and speaking them out loud as if you are really there. When you do this, you are not only practicing English sounds and grammar, but you are also training your brain to respond naturally and automatically. So as we go through these sentences, I want you to listen carefully, repeat after me, and picture the situation in your mind. Imagine yourself standing in the place, talking to the person, and using the words with confidence. Let's begin with a very common situation, ordering something at a coffee shop. Coffee shops and restaurants are places where you will almost always need English if you are traveling, studying abroad, or even living in an English-speaking environment. But even if you are not abroad, this practice is still valuable because it helps you learn polite, friendly expressions. So imagine you walk into a coffee shop, you smile at the person at the counter, and you say, "Good morning. I'd like a cup of coffee, please." Notice how polite and simple this sentence is. You start with a greeting, "Good morning," then you use "I'd like," which is a very polite way of asking for something. It is softer and friendlier than just saying, "Give me" or "I want." Try saying it with me. "Good morning. I'd like a cup of coffee, please." Now the server may ask if you want milk or sugar, and you can respond, "Can you make it with milk and sugar?" Again, short, polite, and clear. After receiving your coffee, you smile and say, "Thank you. Have a great day." These small exchanges may last only a few seconds, but they give you confidence. They also show kindness and respect, which makes conversations smoother. Now let's move to another very common situation, talking with a friend. Friendships are built on simple, caring conversations. You don't always need big, complicated sentences to show that you care. Short, warm sentences are often the best. Imagine you meet your friend and you ask, "How are you feeling today?" This is a little different from, "How are you?" because it focuses on feelings. It shows that you really care about how the other person is doing, not just asking out of habit. Your friend smiles and answers, and then you respond with something positive. "I'm glad to see you." This sentence makes the other person feel valued. You are not only greeting them, you are expressing happiness. And finally, to continue the friendship, you say, "Let's meet again tomorrow." This is simple, direct, and shows that you want to spend more time together. Repeat these with me and imagine you are standing with your friend, smiling and saying these words. Now let's practice sentences for work or study. These situations are also very common, and knowing how to express yourself clearly can help you in school, in meetings, or in teamwork. Imagine you are busy with your assignments and someone asks what you are doing. You can say, "I'm working on my project right now." This tells them clearly that you are occupied. If you are in class or in a meeting and you don't understand something, it's always okay to ask politely, "Could you please explain that again?" Notice the word please. Politeness makes your request softer and shows respect. And finally, when you hear a good idea and you want to support it, you can say, "That's a great idea. Let's try it." This sentence shows teamwork and positivity, which are both very important in professional and academic settings. All of these sentences are short, clear, and powerful. They may look simple, but when you practice them, you are building strong habits. You are training your brain to think in English in real-life situations. Even if you don't have someone to practice with right now, you can still use these sentences in your mind. As you walk through your day, imagine yourself in these situations. Picture yourself ordering coffee, talking to a friend, or working with a classmate. Repeat the sentences silently or whisper them softly. This way, you are giving your brain constant practice, and over time, it becomes natural. Remember, my friends, thinking in English is not only about studying in a classroom, it is about using English in the small, daily moments of life. The more you practice these short exchanges, the more confident and fluent you will become. So keep repeating, keep imagining, and keep speaking with courage. These sentences are the foundation of your daily conversations, and with time, they will open the door to deeper, richer communication in English. My friends, let's go a little deeper into one of the most important parts of your English journey, learning to think in English. Thinking practice is not about repeating textbook exercises or memorizing grammar rules. It is about changing the way your mind works every single day. You see, most learners keep English separate from their daily lives. They use it only in class, in books, or during short practice sessions. But if you want to truly become fluent, English must live inside your thoughts. It must become a language you use to describe your life even when you are completely alone. This is what we mean when we say, "think in English." The idea is simple, yet very powerful. Describe what you are doing, what you see, and what you feel in English in real time. For example, imagine you wake up in the morning. Instead of starting your day in your native language, begin with English thoughts. You can tell yourself, "I am getting out of bed." As you walk to the bathroom, say in your mind, "I am brushing my teeth." When you enter the kitchen, you can think, "I am preparing breakfast." These are very simple sentences, but the habit of using them changes everything. You are no longer translating from your native language. You are thinking directly in English, and that is the secret to fluency. When you go outside, the world gives you endless opportunities to practice. Look at the sky and say, "The weather is sunny today." If it is raining, say, "It's raining and I need an umbrella." When you are waiting for the bus, tell yourself, "I am waiting for the bus." As you look around, notice the people and describe them. I see many people on the street. You don't need to speak loudly. You can whisper softly or even just think the words in your head. What matters is that you are teaching your brain to make English the first language of your thoughts. Some learners may wonder, why should I say these simple sentences to myself? They are too easy, but that is exactly the point. Easy sentences create strong foundations. They are short, they are clear, and they are realistic. When you practice them again and again, they become automatic. Later, as your confidence grows, your thoughts will naturally expand into longer and more complex sentences. But if you skip this step and always try to think in advanced grammar, you will feel blocked. Start small, start simple, and let your mind grow naturally. This practice also helps reduce fear. Many learners are afraid of speaking English because they are worried about making mistakes. But when you are practicing alone, in your own thoughts, there is no pressure, no judgment, and no fear. It is your safe space. You can repeat a sentence 10 times, or change the words, or play with new expressions. Nobody is listening, and that freedom allows your mind to relax and learn. Over time, you will notice that these private thoughts in English begin to appear automatically when you are in real conversations. Thinking in English is like exercising your brain. At first, it might feel strange or even tiring, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Just as muscles grow stronger with daily workouts, your mind becomes faster and more flexible with daily thinking practice. And one day, without even noticing, you will realize that you are no longer translating. You are simply living in English. So remember this. Thinking in English does not require books, teachers, or even a partner. It only requires you and your daily life. Every activity, waking up, eating, walking, waiting, or working, can become a chance to practice. This is simple, but it is also very powerful. If you train your mind like this every day, English will no longer feel like a foreign subject. It will become your second nature, a part of who you are, and a natural voice inside your thoughts. Great job today, my friends. You have done something truly valuable for yourself. In just a short time, you practiced useful daily sentences. You learned conversations that fit real-life situations, and you explored a new way of thinking in English. These are not just exercises on a page. These are tools you can carry with you into your everyday life. The more you use them, the more natural they will feel. I want you to be proud of yourself because every time you practice, even for a few minutes, you are building confidence and fluency. Thinking in English is like exercising your brain. At first it might feel strange or even tiring, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Just as muscles grow stronger with daily workouts, your mind becomes faster and more flexible with daily thinking practice. And one day, without even noticing, you will realize that you are no longer translating. You are simply living in English. So remember this. Thinking in English does not require books, teachers, or even a partner. It only requires you and your daily life. Every activity, waking up, eating, walking, waiting, or working, can become a chance to practice. This is simple, but it is also very powerful. If you train your mind like this every day, English will no longer feel like a foreign subject. It will become your second nature, a part of who you are, and a natural voice inside your thoughts. Great job today, my friends. You have done something truly valuable for yourself. In just a short time, you practiced useful daily sentences, you learned conversations that fit real-life situations, and you explored a new way of thinking in English. These are not just exercises on a page. These are tools you can carry with you into your everyday life. The more you use them, the more natural they will feel. I want you to be proud of yourself because every time you practice, even for a few minutes, you are building confidence and fluency.